Well, Brian, and the one thing is they never go back on their word over at Shopify, do they? No, they do not. They're men and people of their word. But you know who has gone back on their word here that they have given to a great American metropolis? The news just came out here a day or two ago, whatever it was. WrestleMania 2026 no longer set for New Orleans, Louisiana, NOLA, and they're going to get the money in the bank instead. But if you try to discover why this decision was made, apparently they are not speaking from TKO headquarters on that, but also the smart money, as they say out in Las Vegas, is now betting on Las Vegas to be WrestleMania again next year. So they're just whores now, aren't they, Brian?
For anyone who ever thought that about Vince in terms of how he commercialized everything, we're seeing it at a different level right now. And I think the WWE is literally for the highest bidder, even if they come in after the bidding is over. They made a big deal out of New Orleans. It was another one of these things that Dwayne Johnson reappeared to.
I know, yes, he had to come back to make that. And he said, I definitely want to make this announcement. And that turned to shit too. What do you think? How did he hear about it? I wonder. Did he just, hear about it when it went out on the fucking websites and he was like, wait a minute, I said it was going to be there. What the fuck? The only possible explanation is that Las Vegas said, oh, we made a bundle off of this in some fashion. We want to do it again and we'll give you X more, twice as much, whatever the fuck. But basically the statement was made by the Greater New Orleans Sports Foundation that the event is being rescheduled to a later unspecified year, not 2026. But they do get the money in the bank. No date given, usually takes place in June or July.
Sounds like WWE gets money in the bank, then gets out of town.
Well, and also, and we've got figures from our friend Thurston Howell over at WrestleNomics.
You're not getting WrestleMania, you're getting money in the bank.
That apparently some of the money that the WWE is getting, they got Las Vegas, the local Las Vegas Convention and Visitors Authority provided WWE with a $5 million site fee. They also qualified for an additional $4.2 million in tax credits under a program offered by the Nevada state government. So that $10 million. Now, obviously, New Orleans was ponying up, but maybe they just, they couldn't hang. And WWE is going to receive $7.1 million from the New Jersey Sports and Exposition Authority for the first ever 2-day SummerSlam this year at MetLife Stadium. So they're making $5 to $10 million just to go to a goddamn place before they sell the first ticket. But that used to be something that would kill a town, but I don't know if you can kill a town now. But for the fans, because I was about to say for the fans in New Orleans, the people that go to WrestleMania, the majority of them don't live in whatever town it is. But in the old days, if you promised a major event to a market and then said, oh, never mind, we're going somewhere else, you might as well not come back with anything, right?
Are they going to edit the announcement out of the out of the archives? How does that work?
Well,
they made such a big deal out of it. The Rock had to be there to make this big announcement. And then Las Vegas said, we heard you talking to the Saudis. We'll give you $5 million more.
Jesus.
That's where we're going. We're ending up where it's going to be just WrestleMania. Like WrestleMania Dubai, WrestleMania. It's just going to be whoever gives them the most money. That's where they go.
So WrestleMania is like a kidnap victim. And the whoever pays the highest ransom is the winning bidder.
Yeah, pretty much. If Vince wanted to spend some money, he could have WrestleMania in his backyard.
The the also in related news, they're not making enough money, Brian, just on these site fees and everything, because listen to some of these gates again. Our friend Thurston, but this is, public record in some cases, but they did a house show in Nottingham, UK on March 23rd, sold 8,211 tickets, and the gross was $995,000. Is that's how much is that per ticket? How much is that per head? Because
how sustainable is that?
Wait, do you have a calculator? I'm actually interested in
Oh, you're gonna make me
what
do
that
this?
is. Well, but wait a minute. Let's not even do that one. Let's do Glasgow on March 24th. 10,342 people paid $2.626 million. So is that $2,600 a ticket, or have I got too many zeros in there?
Well,
it can't be.
I didn't write down the numbers as you were saying it. Sorry.
Well, it $2,600,000 divided by 10,000. What the fuck is that? That sounds ridiculous to me.
$260 a ticket.
200. Okay, I did have one too many zeros, but an average ticket of $260. Raw in London, 14,816 paid $3.5 million. SmackDown in Rosemont, Illinois, April 4th, 15,000 people paid $2.3 million. The WrestleMania 97 fucking gate in the Rosemont Horizon wasn't $1 million. I don't believe. And Sacramento, 13,000 paid 1.7 million. Fort Worth, 11,000 something paid 1.5 million. And apparently the Raw in London beat the Money in the Bank in 2023 in the same venue, which had a $3.3 million gate. But of course, the record for an arena for the WWE is the Raw premiere on Netflix in Los Angeles with a $4.8 million gate. Again, what was it? WrestleMania 96 was Los Angeles, right? With Anaheim, Arrowhead Pond, Michaels and Hart. Was that $1 million gate? I don't even think so. Jesus H. Christ.
Well, to your earlier topic, you think Vince was hiding how much money he was really making? Now, obviously, they've raised the ticket prices and the prices for everything through the roof. I ask how sustainable it is. That's why. It's one thing. It used to be like the thing to compare WWF to Barnum and Bailey. They come to town once a year and you'll go see them, but it's not like a weekly or monthly thing. Barnum and Bailey never priced people out really that bad. It's a whole new animal right now with WWE. You have to wonder how returnable and how frequent. I guess they don't have to go anywhere frequently anymore. They can just jump on a jet and go overseas.
Well, and see, that's a couple of things. Barnum and Bailey was always a even more family thing than Vince ever tried to be, even in the cartoon days. And the fun for the whole family, that was the whole idea. They couldn't price people out. And the territories, as entertainment tickets, I mean, how old was I? When I was 17 years old, maybe 18 years old, I saw Earth, Wind, and Fire for $7. Right? But the ringside wrestling tickets were still only fucking $5.
Were all tickets $7, or was how much was the top tier ticket if there was one?
I'd have to go back and look at maybe it was 10 and 7. Was it? But a lot of concerts in those days until the Who was just, hey, $7, get there early and get up front. But concert and sports tickets took off, whereas and got more expensive. Wrestling tickets didn't because they were there in a town more often, much more often than any. They didn't have an off season. They were there weekly or bi-weekly or monthly or whatever. They had the same clientele, and then they'd get the casual fans for the big shows. So they kept it affordable because if you just kept your base audience coming, you still made a profit in those days. If you had a territory that existed for any period of time and you didn't want to price them out. And it was hard for the same people to do something, 4 times a month if it was very expensive. But this is pricing out a lot of people that just have regular fucking jobs or employed, pay their taxes, don't have goddamn creditors coming after them, but can't afford money like this. And, they are only going someplace every once in a while now, but still, it's a destination thing for a lot of these fans now, the big events, but they got to fly there. They got to have a hotel. They got all this other stuff. And
yeah, WWE should start their own like credit union just so they can give credit to the fans who are going to spend that money on them.
And they could call it the WWE Company Store. Oh, my soul to the company store.
I understand you make $60,000 a year and you want a $40,000 SummerSlam ticket. Let's look at your credit here. Oh, you have no credit. All right, we'll give you a loan for $1 million. A robust loan.
And but anyway, I'm just hoping that they don't fall on hard times over there. They're struggling, but we'll keep an eye on them. And if there's any GoFundMe's, we'll let people know.
Back to the New Orleans thing, because again, that's your old stomping grounds. What do you think of the fact that they just pulled out of that town? I mean, they moved WrestleMania 7 at the last minute in a sense, but that was because of ticket sales. This wasn't that issue.
No, changing buildings in a town is sometimes done for a variety of reasons, but just announcing the biggest show of the year for a town and then 2 months later said, nope, we changed our mind. That's different. And again, if it was the days when New Orleans had regular wrestling, all those fans would be offended. Like Greensboro when they took Starrcade away, because they were also running Greensboro another 20 fucking times every year. But that was the thing the fans look forward to every year. So they just said, well, you don't want to give us Greensboro, we'll quit coming at all. Or don't want to give us Starrcade, we'll quit coming at all. With New Orleans now, or any town, it's a new generation to where they're not really regular wrestling fans because they don't have regular wrestling. So it'll probably leave a bad taste in the mouth of the people who live in and around New Orleans that wanted to come without having to get on a plane and take a goddamn family vacation. But most of the people, if they do WrestleMania in New Orleans, are going to fly in anyway.
Like never before, WWE is for sale. Maybe not the ownership, but in terms of anything you want, in terms of product placement, in terms of them coming to your town, you play your cards right, you can get UFC, make it a package deal, or NXT, make it a small package. It's a whole new ballgame.
Pro bull riding, get some bullshit in there.
If you had a different person running AEW, it's a great opportunity for a second company to publicly run against that. Like, imagine if Paul Heyman right now ran AEW or ECW, and it was now, whatever you want to say. He wouldn't use the fact that they're pricing people out. He wouldn't advertise the fact that, come bring your whole family here and have a great night. Like, whatever it is, there's opportunity to right now use the direction that they're going in, and it's a long-term direction. Use that to build a number 2. It won't happen, but the opportunity would be there right now.
Well, there's already signs in the crowd. The other night on Raw or SmackDown, I've sold my car to get this seat or whatever. So they know, and these are the happiest people to spend money I've ever seen. Holy mackerel. Anyway.
Send some here. Go in your mommy
We-
and daddy's purse and find those little green pieces of paper with the presidents on it. Send them.
All right, Soupy. Come on, Soupy. Now, none of that.